Prologue. Fanfiction. Pairing. Naruto x Ino. Two blonde shinobi stood staring at each other. They were both slightly out of breath from their intense kiss. Ino closed her eyes. She could feel her heart pounding through her chest. She hadn't expected Naruto to kiss her like that. Hell, she hadn't even expected that she would kiss him back. Naruto, this is so fucked up. You're telling me, he agreed. Ino sat down on his bed. She placed her hands into her lap as she avoided his gaze. When the hell did it get like this? Since when did this get real? Naruto, this wasn't supposed to happen. Naruto sat next to her. He wondered just what he could say to her right now. He reached for her hand. Ino, did you want to kiss me? Did you really feel what I felt? Naruto was feeling so many different emotions. He found that he really enjoyed that kiss with the beautiful Kunoichi. He felt the urge to grab her and kiss her again. Naruto wanted to make this faux relationship real. Yeah, that was exactly what he wanted. Ino turned her attention elsewhere. What could she possibly say to him right now? Should she admit these growing feelings to him? Could she actually breathe light into the current situation? Naruto, I did want that kiss. She admitted. It felt. I can't even begin to describe to you how it felt. I've never actually felt anything like that before. Yeah, he understood. The two of them had decided that in no way, shape or form would they get involved for real. This whole thing was supposed to be for public appearance. Ino didn't know exactly when she started to actually feel real feelings for Naruto. But right now she knew that she felt them. She felt them and they were not going away. In honesty, it was starting to scare her. Ino. He whispered her name. Yeah, Naruto. What are we going to do now? Story start. Chapter 1. The platinum blonde shook her head. It wasn't like she had any answers for him right now. She couldn't answer him when she didn't have any herself. I don't know. I honestly don't know. The 17-year-old blonde-haired Kyuubi vessel was busy getting in some extra training. Right now he needed to clear his head. It was either this or go pig out on some ramen. Yeah, ramen is next, he thought with a smile. After his training he sat putting his supplies away. He had a lot on his mind right now. Most of his thoughts were focused on his pink-haired friend. He harbored these deep feelings for her, for a very long time. The more he thought about it though, he could see that he was getting nowhere. Maybe Sakura-chan and I will be nothing more than friends. Could he really just give up though? He had never given up on a single thing in his life before. Why should now be any different? This was only just another challenge to overcome, right? Hey Naruto. He heard his name. He looked up to see a flash of pink running towards him. Hey Sakura-chan. He waved. Hi. I was hoping to catch you before I left. Are you going somewhere? Yeah, I have a last-minute mission. I should be back in a week or so. Naruto nodded and uneasy silence passed through. Well, I'll see you later, okay Naruto. Sakura-chan, wait. She turned back to look at him with a curious expression on her face. Yeah, what's wrong? It was now or never should he go for it. Never mind, be careful on your mission. Right. She smiled. I will be careful, see you soon. He smiled for her, watching as she walked away. He didn't know why, but he just couldn't bring himself to say anything to her. Maybe I really should give up. Naruto felt his stomach grumble. Guess it's time for that ramen now. He made his way to Ikiraku's. The blonde was so wrapped up in his thoughts he wasn't paying much attention to where he was going. He soon collided with a second blonde. What the hell? A loud voice was heard. Naruto looked to see the one and only Ino Yamanaka. Gomen Ino, I didn't see you there. Let me help you up. He offered her his hand so he could help her. The blonde on the ground just took his hand. Yeah, just be careful next time. What were you, in a daze or something? He didn't respond to her at first. She noticed the far-off look in those cerulean blue eyes. Oh boy, she sighed. I know that look. This wouldn't happen to have anything to do with forehead, would it? Naruto looked up, meeting a nose-knowing gaze. Guess it was really that obvious after all. He started. You don't have to say anything, Naruto. But geez, it's not natural seeing you so depressed. Hey, I know, let's go to Ikiraku's, that always seems to cheer you up. Ino led the way to the ramen stand. When she noticed that Naruto wasn't coming, she turned to face him. Are you coming or what? I mean, this is ramen we're talking about. You never refuse eating that. Naruto just put on a smile for the blonde kunoichi. Yeah, you're right, Ino-chan, let's get going, okay. Ino wasn't completely sure why she had even offered. If Naruto was depressed over Sakura, it really wasn't any of her business. She figured that it was simply because she didn't like seeing anyone down. Once at Ikiraku's, she noticed how he sat there. He mindlessly held his chopsticks in his hand. He wasn't even attempting to devour the noodles. She knew for sure that this was indeed serious. That's it. I can't take this. Naruto, you need to seriously get out of this depressed mood you're in. Moping around doesn't really suit you. You don't understand, Ino. I have a lot on my mind. Oh, I get it, all right. You're depressed over Sakura because you have this never-ending crush on her. Naruto, I respect your loyalty and all, but don't you think it's about time you let it go already? She really hadn't meant to sound so harsh at the time. She only wanted to be honest with him. The blonde male stared at her. Maybe you're right. Now Naruto, I know you don't listen to reason. And don't you dare argue with me. She stopped. Huh, what did you say? She turned her attention towards him. I said that maybe you're right. Well, I definitely wasn't expecting that. She thought. Damn right I'm right. You know what, I'm feeling really generous right now. I'm going to help you. Naruto swallowed the lump in his throat. Ino and help in the same sentence. He wasn't sure if he felt good about any of this. Help me. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you agree with me that you need to move on. But if you truly want forehead, I'll help you. We'll spend some time together. We'll pretend to be a couple just to get under her skin. You know it will piss her off for sure. Ino-chan want that be like me using you. The platinum blonde's eyebrow twitched. She then rolled her eyes. I don't think of it that way. Besides, it might be kind of fun to see the look on her face if she thinks that we're together. And on top of it all, if she really wants you, she'll come get you. Naruto took a minute to process everything that Ino had said. He didn't feel completely comfortable with this plan. She was right though, he didn't have anything to lose. Maybe spending some time with Ino would help him get over Sakura. One thing though before we agree to this relationship. What's that? You and I keep this strictly professional. I mean, you cannot fall in love with me under any circumstances. The same goes for me. Naruto took a moment to finally eat some of his ramen. This was going to be a lot to think about. Could they really go through with this? Plans like these were bound to have some type of consequences. Alright, no problem there. His voice now held its usual confident tone. Ino frowned at this. Was he suggesting that she wasn't worthy of his affections? Ino Yamanaka was more than enough woman for him. She was definitely sure of that. Oh, is that so? You saying I'm not good enough for you? Oh no, Ino-chan, that's not it at all. I do think that you're pretty. He told her honestly. There was silence for a moment. He was mainly afraid that he would say something to upset her. Well, I have to go. I'll see you around. Uzumaki. She called out to him. If we're going to do this, we are going to do this right. We have to make this whole thing completely believable. Right. He nodded. Don't sweat it, Ino, we can pull this off, no problem. It's not like we like each other that way. Yeah, this will be a piece of cake. On the plus side, if this works, you'll get forehead in the end. And if it doesn't work, well, at least you can say that you spent time with a beautiful girl like me. She smiled proudly. As expected of Ino-chan. He thought. Sure thing, Ino, whatever you say. Later. Bye. She nodded. Oh yeah, this should definitely be fun. Ease this broken heart by Ski Maiden. Chapter 2. Ino waited patiently for Naruto to meet her in front of the Yamanaka flower shop. 20 minutes had passed and he still hadn't shown up. She was doing her best to keep her cool. Where the hell is he? I told him to meet me at 4 o'clock. She had to suppress the urge to hit him a few good times for making her wait. Ino, I'm sorry I'm late. He quickly apologized as he ran up to meet her. Naruto number 1 rule: you never keep a girl waiting. Geez, I said that I was sorry. Whatever. She sighed. Come on, let's go. She led the way with him following behind her. He had no idea where they were going. He figured that this was all Ino's idea. He would let her handle all the details. Where are we going, Ino? Just somewhere I like to go to think. We do have to strategize, of course. Strategize. She was treating this like it was a war or something. Ino, this isn't war or a mission. I mean, it's not like it's life or death. She glared at him as if he had somehow said the absolute worst thing in the world. Well, love is like war. It's just as serious. You've got to take this seriously, Naruto, even if it's only for show. I mean, we know that none of this is for real. But everyone else doesn't know that. Wow, Ino sure is committed to things. He thought to himself. Ino stopped walking when they approached a field of flowers. Naruto couldn't say that he was surprised. It was full of flowers. This was probably like heaven to her. The blue-eyed Kunoichi sat down, motioning for him to sit with her. He sat down, leaning up against the tree. He had to admit this place was pretty relaxing. Everything from the flowers to the nearby lake. He imagined that at night this place would be absolutely stunning. Damn, Ino, this place is relaxing. I can totally fall asleep right here. He put his hands behind his head as he prepared to close his eyes. Look here, Shikamaru version 2.0. You don't have time to sleep right now. We've got planning to do. Ino, what's the big deal? All we have to do is go around pretending that we're a couple. What's so hard about that? He asked her. It took everything Ino had to keep herself from hitting him upside the head. She was beginning to see why Sakura had done it so frequently. Although the pink-haired girl had taken it too far sometimes. Ino didn't want to knock him into oblivion. She just wanted to hit him a few good times to get those remaining brain cells up and running. Naruto, let's think about this for a minute. Have you and I ever shown any interest in one another at all over the years? No. He shook his head. Good boy. Now I know it hurts your head, but try to follow me, okay? If we've never shown any interest in each other before, what makes you think that anyone is going to believe us if we don't do this right? Naruto knew that of course Ino was right. They couldn't just fall in love overnight. Everyone would be able to see right through that. This was going to be a challenge. He was beginning to see that. He and Ino had to make this as convincing as possible. Yeah, you're probably right. Of course I'm right. Rule number 2, Naruto, the girl is always right no matter what. Well, what if she isn't? Trust me, if you want to survive and keep a girl happy, she's always right. Naruto sighed, throwing his arms over his head. How many rules are there? It's like you wrote a rulebook or something. Having a pretend girlfriend is hard work. Oh yeah, well, wait until you get a real girlfriend. I'm sure that forehead isn't going to make it easy for you. Naruto suddenly became quiet. Ino noticed his silence. She raised an eyebrow to him. Now what's wrong? She questioned. It's just, what if this whole thing doesn't work out? What if we're really just wasting our time? Maybe we should forget the whole thing. You getting soft on me, Uzumaki? Since when did you start giving up on things? The blonde male sighed to himself. Ino, why do you want to help me? We aren't exactly best friends, you know. I told you this could prove to be interesting. Also, I know that you really like her. You've had a crush on her for what now, an eternity? She teased. That's not funny. I am trying to get over it. Yeah, I don't really know if I believe you completely on that. But if you are serious about getting over her, if you really think about it, aren't you using me too? She had a point, they both knew that. Hey, I thought that you said you weren't going to think of it like that. Yeah, I remember what I said. You and I are both getting something out of this. So why don't we just call it an adventure? We can at least have some fun, can't we? Ino-chan needs a hobby. She needs to get the hell out of that flower shop more. I think that it's making her kind of crazy. He thought. Sure, Ino-chan. He nodded. Great. So now that that's out of the way, we do have to think of something. We have to make it believable without overdoing it. Ino-chan, why don't I ask you out in front of everyone? That's a start. She thought about his suggestion. That's true, that would be a start. It would be even more believable if I turned you down and you pursued me a little. Ino was starting to feel enthusiastic about the whole pursuit aspect of things. She did like the attention. This whole plan would definitely bring attention to the both of them. Yeah, I guess that would be the best thing. I'm used to being rejected. Naruto spoke. Although Ino hadn't told him this to his face, she did find him attractive. After he first came back from his training trip, he was definitely something to look at. Time had surely been good to Naruto. Don't be so down on yourself. You know you've only been after one girl all this time. Who's to say that someone else wouldn't have said yes to you? You should have kept your options open. Ino reminded him. Yeah, that's true, I guess. Hey, he smiled. I've got an idea. She noticed the bright glint in his eyes. He had a plan of some sort. He was thinking crazy right now, she was sure of it. Naruto, you aren't going to do anything crazy, are you? No time to explain, Ino, I have to go. Just remember to be your usual bossy self and I'll see you tomorrow like planned. Bossy, she repeated. Yeah, you know the Ino charm that only you posses. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. She could say no more as he was already gone. I'll just have to wait and see whatever he has planned. He'd better not do anything crazy or Cammy help him. Alright, so nothing big happening right now, but it should get better as the story progresses, hopefully. Stay here for more. Ease This Broken Heart by Ski Maiden. Chapter 3. To say that Ino was concerned about whatever Naruto had planned was putting it lightly. She knew all too well how eager and unpredictable the blonde male was. I have a really bad feeling about this, she thought to herself. Hey Ino, where are you right now? You look like you're a million miles away. Sakura spoke. Yeah, she's right, Ino, what's going on? Tenten asked. The blonde kunoichi took a sip of her tea. She wasn't really sure how she should answer her. Ino-chan, is everything okay? Hinata wondered. The four girls had met up today to have some tea and spend their day together. She knew that today was better than any to put her plan with Naruto into action. There were witnesses around so they could all see this so-called relationship come to a start. Guys, I'm fine really. I just have some stuff on my mind, that's all. Oh, Tenten nodded knowingly. Boy trouble, huh? She nudged the younger girl in the shoulder. Come on Tenten, you know that Ino Pig is single. What boy trouble could she possibly have? The pink-haired teen teased gently. Ino glared daggers at her friend. So are you, forehead. The only people here who would have boy problems are Tenten and Hinata. How are things with Lee and Kiba anyway? Lee and I are fine, the brunette said confidently. Why? Yeah, Kiba-kun and I are doing good. Hinata answered. Hear that, Sakura, you better get a move on if you want to catch up to these two. Sakura narrowed her eyes as she sipped her tea. Oh yeah, well, what about you? I don't exactly see your social calendar full. Ino stood up, placing some money on the table. I don't need a man to define me, she said proudly as she walked out of the tea house. Spoken like a true desperate single girl. Hey Ino Pig, wait up. The three girls followed after their friend. All Ino could really think about was what Naruto had said the day before. It was the only thing on her mind. Just what the hell is he planning? She wondered. Ino, hey, wait up. She waited for her friends to catch up to her. So what do you guys want to do now? Before anyone could say anything else, Konohamaru's voice was heard. Ino-ne-chan, he shouted. The platinum blonde turned around to see the young boy running towards her. He was carrying a bouquet of orchids in his hand. Konohamaru-chan, what's going on? Hiya Ino-chan, I have something for you. He smiled his toothy grin as he handed her the beautiful bouquet. She blinked as she took the flowers from him. Thank you Konohamaru, who are they from? There's no card, Sakura noticed. I'm sorry Ino-ne-chan, I was only told to give them to you. I got to run though, see ya. The three teens waited until the brown-haired boy was gone before turning their attention to Ino. They were definitely curious as to why she had those flowers. What's up? Ino asked. Looks like Ino Pig has an admirer. Sakura spoke in an amused tone. What? I do not. Konohamaru was probably just playing a trick or something. She decided that this was most likely the answer. Ino said no more to her friends as she started to walk away. They are pretty flowers, Ino-chan. The blue-haired girl told her. Yeah, I wonder who they're from. As the girls continued walking, they continued to share their theories on whom it could be. Ano's eye twitched. She couldn't take this another minute longer. Well, it definitely wasn't my Lee. He wouldn't dare disrespect me like that. Tenten said. Hey, maybe it was Shino, the pink-haired teen suggested, because she knew it would piss Ino off. Bug boy, she shouted. Get real, you three. I'm telling you that it was probably a joke. She turned around facing her friends with a displeased look on her face. Okay, Ino, geez, relax. Ino-chan. A very loud voice was heard. What the? Ino, Tenten, Sakura, and Hinata looked to see Naruto jumping from the roof of a building. He landed in front of the more than surprised blonde Kunoichi. Nah. Naruto, she questioned in disbelief. Sakura suddenly punched the blonde male in the head. He instantly fell to the ground. Ow, Sakura-chan. He whined. What the hell were you thinking jumping from the roof like that, baka? Were you trying to freak us out? Not to mention you probably could have hurt yourself. Naruto-kun, are you okay? Hinata asked. He shook his head, trying to regain himself after the nasty blow to the head. Hi, I'm fine. He nodded, giving her the thumbs up. He then turned his attention to Ino. He smiled for her. Ino-chan, did you like the flowers I sent for you? You sent them, Tenten and Sakura said together. Yeah, Ino-chan. He dropped to his knee, taking her hand. Ino stood with her mouth open. She could form no words. She was in complete shock mode right now. How the hell could he pull something like this? And she had no time to even prepare for his little stunt. Ino-chan, you are so beautiful. Will you let me take you out? Tenten, Sakura, and Hinata each stood in shock, awe, and bewilderment. This wasn't seriously happening right now. None of this seemed to make any kind of sense. Ino pulled herself together, letting the shock disappear from her face. Naruto, she began. Come on, Ino-chan, you'll have a great time. It's not like you're busy anyway, you've got plenty of free time. She looked horrified at his insult. Ino pulled him up, dragging him away. We have to talk now in private, you baka. She growled. Ino-chan, not so rough, we haven't even had our first date yet. The platinum blonde hit him over the head and he saw nothing but stars. I'll be right back, she told her friends as she continued dragging Naruto along. Once she was sure that they weren't within earshot of anyone else, she let him go. Naruto, what in all hell were you thinking? What happened to being convincing? Don't you think that you went a little overboard? No way, wasn't it great, Ino? When have I ever been quiet about anything I've done? You got a point there. She agreed as she sat down beside him. Seriously though, how are we supposed to recover from this brilliant idea of yours? I'm glad that you thought it was brilliant too. He smiled confidently. I was being sarcastic, Naruto. Oh, he whispered as he scratched his hair. I knew that. Ino put her hand to her chin as she thought to herself. Naruto simply closed his eyes. He didn't feel like sitting around waiting for her to come up with some sort of plan. Ino, just follow my lead, all right? Come up with anything you want to say. He started walking from behind the wall. He could see the other three Kunoichis still standing in view. Naruto knew that he had to make this convincing. Come on, Ino-chan, how can you just say no to me like that? Ino thought for a moment before she spoke. Well, you haven't really given me any good reason as to why I should say yes. She fired back with her hands on her hips. Didn't I promise you all the ramen that you could eat? What more can you possibly want? Ino only looked disgusted for a moment. Ramen is not the way to a girl's heart, you moron. She sighed. I'm out of here, but thanks for the flowers. Okay, Ino-chan, but I'm not going to give up. He shouted after her, giving her 2 thumbs up. Whatever you say. She continued on walking until she was standing with her friends again. Ino, what the hell was all that about? Sakura asked first. I don't know. She shrugged her shoulders. Don't ask me why he was acting so weird. I have no idea what the hell goes on in that crazy brain of his. No. The pink-haired female shook her head. I mean, what was that back there? Did we really just see Naruto of all people ask you out? It doesn't really make any sense. Ino paused. She knew that this would probably happen. She was trying to make Naruto understand that they needed to plan this out carefully. Ino knew that she had to salvage this mess somehow. Yeah, I mean, I thought that he liked Sakura still, Tenten said. Well, maybe he decided to try his luck with other girls. It doesn't seem that Forehead was willing to give him the time of day. So you can't really blame him for setting his sights on someone as beautiful as me. She spoke in a confident tone. Sakura put her hand up to her chin as she seemed to be in deep thought. No. She shook her head. No, that doesn't sound right. Ano's eyes turned white as she fell to the ground. How dare Sakura make a rude comment like that? Oh. Ino-chan, are you okay? Hinata questioned as she helped the blonde up. Hi, I'm fine. What was that Forehead? Are you saying that I'm not good enough for Naruto? Well, if he's really all that great, maybe I'll just give him a chance. She looked at the expression on the other three teens' faces. It was hard to tell what each of them were thinking. But at the same time she felt that she had control of the situation again. There, I think that takes care of that, she thought. I have to go. I'll see you guys around. Right later, Ino. They all waved. The blonde teen breathed a sigh of relief. She felt better that she had managed to at least fix a bit of the damage that Naruto had caused. Damn him for causing such a scene. Although she hated to say it, she had to admit that it was very sweet of him to give her flowers. And she could definitely say no boy had ever jumped off a roof for her. She couldn't help but to feel just a little flattered, even if it had all been for show. I knew that this wasn't going to be boring, but I wasn't expecting him to give me flowers, or for him to come falling down a roof. I need to talk to him, she decided. That night the blonde girl found herself outside of Naruto's window. She had to do some asking around to find out where he lived though, other than that it wasn't that much of a challenge. She peeked inside to see him fast asleep. She tapped on the window, he remained asleep. Damn, he looks like he sleeps like a rock. She tapped on his window hoping that he would hear her. Naruto only shifted in his sleep, not bothering to wake up. Naruto, you idiot, wake up. Ino tapped harder this time. Naruto turned around, opening his eyes. He turned his attention to the window. What the? He blinked, running the sleep out of his eyes. He was trying to make sure that he was really seeing Ino out there. He got up and opened the window. Ino, he yawned. What the hell are you doing out here? Ino came into his apartment leaning herself up against the windowsill. I came to talk to you. She stopped when she saw the black nightcap that he was wearing. What the fuck is that on top of your head? She pointed. It's what I always sleep in. And here I thought that your fashion sense couldn't get any worse. You've managed to outdo yourself this time for real. Naruto found that he was too tired to reply back to her at that moment. Another yawn escaped him. Maybe I'm dreaming. Okay, dream version of Ino, I'm going to sleep now. You can see yourself out. She sighed heavily before hitting him in the back of his head. Damn, that felt real. He groaned in pain. Are you up now, you moron? Do you finally realize that this isn't a dream? She shouted. Naruto nodded as he sat down again. He could see that there would be no sleeping for him, not as long as Ino was standing there. He thought that it would be best to just let her talk. It's more like a nightmare, he muttered. What was that? Nothing, Ino-chan, what did you want to talk about? I just thought that I should let you know that I managed to fix some of the damage you caused earlier. I still don't know what the hell was going through your mind. You took it way too far. Sakura and the others were completely unconvinced by your display. Naruto smiled apologetically up at her. I'm sorry. He shrugged his shoulders. So what happened after I left? Well, after we had our little confrontation. Sakura was curious to say the least. I tried to suggest that you asked me out because you wanted to try your luck with other girls. You know, maybe play the field a little. Also, I might have mentioned how beautiful I am. She spoke in a slightly amused tone. Yeah, whatever you say. Naruto brushed off that last comment. Then what happened? Hold on, I'm getting to it. Come on, Ino-chan, you woke me up, at least finish the story sometime tonight. Ino pouted, resisting the urge to hit him upside the head repeatedly. Anyway, to make a long story short, I ended up telling them that I might consider giving you a chance. The spiky-headed blonde fell over, landing on the floor. Get up, you idiot. I saved our plan from being completely destroyed. Ino-chan, I don't get it. How did saying that save things? Don't you get it? I said that I might give you a chance. Now all you have to do is ask me out again, and after some persuasion I'll say yes. Then we can really start putting this relationship into action, got it? Naruto nodded as he realized everything that Ino had explained to him. Okay, Ino, I got it. Good, well, I'm going to go home now. You seem to understand what to do. I'll see you around. Naruto rose to his feet as Ino was leaving. Hey Ino, wait up. I'll walk you home. She blinked curiously, turning around to face him. No, really, you don't have to. She tried to convince him. Yeah, I know, but it's late. It's not that big of a deal, I'll walk you. Besides, if we want to be convincing, we have to spend some time together, don't we? He asked her as he put on his jacket. Yeah, you're right. Thank you though. Sure, no problem. He gave her a smile. There was an awkward silence as they walked to Ino's house. It was mainly because neither one of them knew what to say at that moment. After a while, Ino decided to speak up. Hey Naruto. Yeah? He asked, turning his attention towards her. Those flowers, they were beautiful. You didn't really have to give them to me. I'm glad that you liked them, Ino-chan. It was all a part of the plan. I guess I didn't screw up everything, huh? No, I guess not. Just promise me no more crazy ass stunts like that. Ha. He laughed. I promise nothing. Yeah, figures he would say something like that. She rolled her eyes. The two blondes came to a stop in front of Ino's house. Alright, Ino-chan, home sweet home, I guess. Yeah, thanks again Naruto, so I guess. Before Ino could say anything, someone's voice was heard. This caused the both of them to turn around. Ino, what are you doing with Naruto at this time of night?